Pinpoint Weather on NBC5 News is brought to you by the Cow Creek Umpqua Tribe.
Hey, welcome back at NBC5. Looking outside on the Manor Cam for this morning. We've got sunshine out there. That's going to be the case for much of the forecast, but we'll see a little bit of a haze. Some areas dealing with some smoke due to the flat fire this morning. 65 degrees. That is 3 degrees cooler than yesterday morning. Again, not a huge drop off in the morning temperatures. The afternoon temperatures will be much nicer. Right now, northwest wind is 6 miles per hour. And look at these afternoon highs. We get a little bit further away from the upper 90s and triple digits we've been dealing with throughout the hot weekend. Upper 80s, low 90s out east of the Cascades, 80s and 90s here in the West Valley. Still expected the 60s along the coastline. And like we were dealing with last week and through this weekend into the afternoon hours, a slight breeze from the northwest, a little bit breezier for the coastline. Of course, with the dry conditions, any amount of wind can quickly spread a fire, especially as we've seen with the flat fire here throughout the last couple of days. Now just a few thousand acres have burned from that fire. We'll get into the smoke forecast with that here in just a second. But what you see is relative humidity values in the morning hours into the 50s and 40s, but quickly dropping off into the 20s and teens with the temperatures today. Although it's not as hot as this weekend, it is still hot and dry air. When you see those wind gusts getting up into that 10 to 15 mile per hour range as well. So when we talk about the wildfire danger, you're going to see us getting a little bit closer to the middle half of the graphic here. You're seeing that into nothing too extreme, but we're still seeing around 3 to 5 in that category. So still getting into the kind of mid-range with the wildfire danger. This means that those fires can quickly spread like we've had, but we don't have as hot of temperatures and not as strong of winds of yesterday. We do have the red flag warning. This is for Eastern County, Josephine County, and going into western Jackson County. And with this, especially here for tonight, those relative humidity values not dropping off as much, so we don't have as much of a recovery, and that wind still continues with that light breeze. So any fires, again, can quickly spread. Now, what we see in terms of smoke, of course, air quality levels still not too bad across most of the area. Of course, the closer you get to the flat fire, the worse it does get. Now, you see the smoke down into Northern California, east of the Cascades. That's actually going to be clearing east for today. Thankfully, that cold front pushed through, and that's going to help clearing out that smoke. But you still see it kind of locked into place into southern Curry, stretching into Del Norte County, even parts of Josephine County and the Illinois Valley likely to deal with that. We'll likely see a little bit of a haze from this fire from the next few days. Now, the strong ridge pushed out to the southeast. Here's the little system that that's bringing the cooler temperatures for today. Now, we're going to see that low kind of digging out along the Gulf of Alaska yet again. Ridge to build back in through this week to bring in some hotter temperatures. And then as we're getting into the weekend, another system pushes through to help us cool off. So we will see some hot temperatures returning in the forecast today. We're right at the seasonal high for this time of year. We'll dip right back down to the 50s here for tonight, and then we're going to climb. We see the upper 90s through the rest of this week, even likely closing into that triple-digit heat. Few days look to be a little bit on the breezy side, continuing with that northwesterly wind, and then we drop off this weekend with some lower 90s. Climate Falls will stay into the lower to mid 90s through much of this week. No signs of rain in the forecast, which is unfortunate. No good rain to help out our conditions, especially with the dry conditions we have going on. Nearing some triple digits in Northern California. We've got some 60s for the coastline, smoke and haze, a little bit breezy to windy next few days, and by the end of the week could be dealing with some fog in the morning.